Time to be here for it. Whether you're showing up or just fighting off your own burnout, I'm glad you joined me for another episode of Coffee with Dubs. Grab your cup, come on in, let's get to it.
There's a strange thing that happens when you spend too much of your life being dependable. People start clapping for your endurance while completely missing your exhaustion. You become reliable, the strong one, the person who figures it out, the one who keeps showing up even when your internal battery is blinking red for like 3 exits already. After a while, you start confusing survival with identity.
And that's kind of where my head's been lately. Yesterday we talked about balance after getting a little lost in the woods and walking around Wells Mills Park for like 8 miles. It was a trip that was supposed to be a 6-mile round trip, and it turned into a whole accidental adventure before the work week even started. And honestly, I think that walk unlocked something inside my brain because I kept thinking about how easy it is to carry responsibility. Right up until the point where you realize you've been carrying everybody except yourself.
Probably because somewhere along the way, a lot of us were taught that responsibility means sacrifice. That being said, a good worker, a good parent, a good partner, a good provider, a good human somehow requires slowly disappearing into the process. We treat self-neglect like it's a noble act. We wear burnout like a merit badge, and we apologize for resting. We apologize for setting boundaries. We apologize for needing quiet. And then one day we wake up emotionally flatlined, wondering why nothing feels exciting anymore.
And the scary part is, usually you don't let it happen dramatically. It happens gradually, quietly. You don't even notice yourself fading out because life keeps moving. There's schedules, grocery runs, bills, responsibilities, notifications, and then there's other people needing pieces of you all day long too. And if you're not careful, you can become a machine built entirely around responding to other people's needs, while your own inner world starts collecting dust in the corner. And that's why I think people burn out so hard now. It's not always because they're weak, it's because they've spent years abandoning themselves in tiny invisible ways that nobody talks about. Skipping rest, ignoring hobbies, silencing emotions, and watering themselves down to avoid conflict. Becoming emotionally available to everyone except themselves. And I don't think healing starts from running away from responsibility. I think healing starts when you learn how to carry responsibility differently. Because responsibility itself isn't the enemy. Purpose matters, providing matters, showing up matters, but there's a difference between carrying responsibility and being consumed by it. One leaves room for humanity, the other slowly erases it. I think a lot about heading into a new work week because I genuinely care about people. I care about doing good work. I care about creating things. I care about showing up for my family and my community. And the people who show up and spend a few minutes with me every morning here on Coffee with Dubs. But I'm also learning that constantly pouring from an empty cup, eventually what comes out isn't going to be compassion anymore. It'll be irritation, exhaustion, overall detachment.
And that's the trap right there. The world will reward your overextension for a very long time before it finally punishes you for collapsing. And that's why protecting your inner world matters, not in some fake influencer, take a bubble bath, buy expensive candles kind of way, but in a genuinely protecting the parts of yourself that make you alive. Your humor, your creativity, your moments, your curiosity, your ability to sit under trees for 10 minutes without checking your phone, and your ability to laugh at getting lost in the woods instead of turning it into another reason to hate yourself. Because when you abandon those things, life starts becoming mechanical. You stop experiencing days and you start processing them, and maybe that's what I'm trying to unlearn right now. The idea that you have to destroy yourself in order to prove that you're responsible. Maybe maturity actually looks like balance. Maybe strength looks like pacing yourself. Maybe wisdom is learning when to pause before your soul starts running on fumes. And look, I know not everybody has the luxury of slowing down completely. Bills still exist. Stress is always there. Monday is always Monday. So maybe this week, instead of asking yourself how much more you can carry, ask yourself what parts you need to come with so you can carry it. Maybe you stop talking to yourself like a malfunctioning machine. Maybe you stop measuring your worth through your productivity. Maybe you take a long walk. Maybe you sit at the lake a little longer. Or maybe you just exist outside your obligation for an hour without guilt so you can feel like you're alive again.
Because at the end of the day, responsibility should support your own life. It shouldn't replace it. If nobody reminded you lately, you're allowed to be a person while you're handling responsibilities. You're allowed to reset and rest before completely breaking. You're allowed to protect your peace before burnout makes decisions for you. And maybe learning how to carry responsibility without abandoning yourself is the process. The real balance that we've been looking for in life all along. So, let's keep trying to find it together every day right here on Coffee with Dubs. I'm out of here.